So SMT5 Vengeance is only out in, I think, around 20 days, but I decided to embark on a project to recreate the dorm room as seen in the footage and screenshots for SMT5 Vengeance as best as I can, mainly because, well, I'm excited for the game to come out, and I guess I just wanted to, like, have the dorm room in VRChat to be able to, like, you know, do stuff in. The thing is, though, is that I didn't want to wait for the game to come out to do a port of the actual dorm room from the files because, like, even though I've done data mining and porting in the past, I wanted to be good about that and not touch the files, especially for my own sake, because I don't want to spoil myself. Like, I feel like enough has been spoiled from the game that I don't want to just, like, if the game comes out and, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go through the files and grab the dorm room and do a port. You know, I may end up seeing a bunch of other stuff I don't want to do. And besides, I feel like it's just, like, maybe good practice to wait until I'm actually completely finished with the gameverse. I actually want to play the game and finish the game before I touch any of the files, and before I consider doing any ports. And in fact, I guess even though this is a recreation, this would technically be like the first SMT5 themed map I ever done. I have the Velvet Chill Room, which is like a hodgepodge of Megami Tensei stuff, even though it's like an extended, like, enhanced version of the limousine from Persona 4 with a bunch of stuff added to it. But and yeah, it has some SMT5 stuff in it too, but it's not an actual SMT5 map. So I guess this is technically like the first SMT5 map I've done, even though it's from Vengeance. So let me show you around. There's not much here, of course. I do feel like it's I guess for the sake of VRChat I did this too, but it's definitely a lot more spacious. I think I end up making it more spacious than it actually is in the game, because that little door room is tiny and there's not much in it, and I think when people first saw it, they made fun of it because it's like, oh, we finally get a dorm room for the protagonist, but it's like, damn bitch, you live like this? Because there's not much in it. It's pretty boring, and the dude doesn't have much personal stuff in it. Maybe that's how he likes to live, I don't know. But let's take a look at what I have here. Also, I'll show you all the stuff that I added in the UI, because that's the thing I spent a lot of time on. The menus, I added, like, this is just a thing I like to do in my worlds. I did this in the Velvet Chill Room too, but I added, like, even though it's a tiny space, I added, like, a ton of customization options and a bunch of stuff. So you can adjust it how you want. Let's go. So yeah, there's not much in here. It really is just... I started when I modeled this out, so I actually modeled this in Blender, which would be like the first time I fully modeled the VRChat world, mostly in Blender. Like, there was like a few things I added in Unity, like, and some prefabs too. So I like... a lot of this stuff, it was modeled in Blender, and then I pulled some stuff from the original SMT5 files. So I actually did, like, pull... there was a suit, not for the protagonist, but for the NPCs. So I managed to pull a suit, and I had to change the textures and stuff on that, and just add some other things to put it up there. The bag is from the original SMT5 files. The book is also... this is the Manyoshu Volume 5? It's I think it's like Volume 5, like a new rendition of or something, like a new release. And it looks like a paperback book, but that was in the files too. And funny enough, I think I brought this up in my cut content video, but when you go into the files and find the book, the book is, if you look into the player files for the protagonist, the book is in there, but it's listed as a weapon, which I find extremely funny. So I don't know if, like, and I doubt this is ever going to be the case. I don't think this is going to be the case in Vengeance either, where he actually gets to use the book as a weapon, because, well, he kind of doesn't. There's a scene that I saw in the 6-hour stream that they did for Vengeance, where he encounters one of the Kaditsu, and he could have just, like, threw a book at her. It would have been funny, but he doesn't use the book as a weapon ever at all. He doesn't try to fight with anything. He tries to become the Nahobino when he can't. Things like laptops and cactus, there's like a few things in here. and the outside environment were actually pulled from like Unity prefabs. Those are good for just like if you need like some extra like, you know, nondescript stuff in the background environment for a VRChat world. Usually like the Unity store is pretty good for just like if you need low poly stuff. So I pulled like a Tokyo City prefab, and there's some trees and like, you know, things like house plants, which he actually does. You can't, like, unfortunately from what I've seen in the footage of the game, for the dorm room, you actually don't get to see it on this eye level at all. It's actually more of like angled upwards, and so you still don't get like it, and it's also seems to be kind of like a fixed camera in a way. So you don't get a really good view of the stuff that's in the room. Like you wouldn't be able to see, let me get on the bed here. Oh, I don't even have colliders on. Like some of the stuff, like there's supposedly a picture up there. I didn't put anything on there yet. I assume maybe it's a family picture. But I'll figure that out later since I plan to update this. But there's like a little, like, usually when you look at the footage, there's something on the wall too, but you can't tell what it is, and you never actually get to tell what it is from what I've seen when you're just in the room. So I figured since this was like a student dorm room and he really doesn't have much in here, and he doesn't seem to intend to decorate it with any like personal stuff, I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a school calendar. So there's a Japanese school calendar. You can't really do anything with it. It is dated for 2021 when the original game came out. So, there is a tablet here. Some of these, do I have pickup? I have pickup on some of these. There's like some stuff in here. I have toggles for more stuff, but, the default is most of the stuff that's in the actual dorm room. From the footage, there's a tablet here, so from what I view in the footage, he has his big tablet. This one is actually from the SMTVV files. I think there's a couple different ones. Laptop is a prefab. You can look at that, you can look at what's on the laptop if you want. I'm not going to show that. And yeah, the books. These books here, now I had to base it, a lot of this stuff I had to do basically eyeball measurements based on footage and screenshots in order to kind of like, oh man, the method I use is just kind of weird, but I think I managed okay. And also player models helped with scaling as well. That's usually helpful. But yeah, things like books too. These are from the files. The textures anyways. I don't think I pulled the books. No, I think I modeled the books. That's why they look a little funky. But like the actual textures are from the classrooms, from the original SMT5 files, and I had to base it off of the screenshots. I had to use screenshots and the 6-hour stream footage for reference, but it is there's a, let's see, which one is this? Earth and Science, World Talk, so I assume this is history. And then there is a math book, and I believe there are these sizes based off the screenshots. And then I added the Manyoshu there as well, since you've seen reading that a lot, even though that's not in the screenshots. And also they're on top of like this huge filing cabinet, which you can't open it right now, but I'll probably make it to where you can open it and then put stuff in it later. There's a computer chair. I pulled the computer chair from Unity store. There's a prefab. There's like some computer prefabs. Same with the laptop too. I didn't actually check to see if any of the classrooms or facilities in the school for SMT5 had computer chairs. I should have done that because I might have actually found one. And of course there's an Amalodrome. I guess I could have pulled the terminal from the SMT5 files. I don't know why I didn't think to do that, but I still think the mini one that's in the protagonist room is a lot smaller and different than the one that you actually use in the laboratories in the game to like go around and stuff. I'm pretty sure the one in his room is way different, so I was like, I'll just model it and throw a texture on it. There's also this thing I see in the screenshots. It looks like a gamer PC, it really does. I don't know what it is, and it does seem weird that, you know, you would have something that looks like a PC tower and yet just have a laptop. I don't remember. I think maybe you can use a laptop screen to use with a PC tower. I don't really know. So it is placed under the terminal though in the screenshot, so I assume it's being used with the terminal somehow. Like it's just like maybe it's, I don't know how the terminals work on 5. I don't know if they explained it. So I assume maybe it requires use of a PC tower or something, whatever that is under there. Maybe it's like something for a server. We have the bed, the sad, depressing. I mean, this whole door room's really depressing. There's not much to it. The bed is like depressing, and I'm all of that and everything. I added a mirror since he didn't have one. I figured it should be fine, but like there's more to this. I'll show you in a minute. It looks depressing at first, the store room, but I added a bunch of extra stuff to it to sort of spruce it up a little bit and make it look like it's more livable than it actually is. So let me move away from here. If you go by the door, I have this menu here. This menu is by... I really like this UI. There's so many different ones, and like, I haven't really... There's a UI menu that I did for the Velvet Showroom, but it was like my first time doing a UI, and I used like Cyan Trigger to put it together, and I could have pulled that in here, but like, everything is like based on Udon now, and it was just like, the other menu was like spaghetti stuff thrown together, and I was like, no, it's not gonna work for this. Here you can go to aconite0101.booth.pm in order to use this UI, and like it doesn't start out like this. If you actually get the UI off of Booth, it only has like 2 example toggles, but the rest you have to do all the work by yourself. So all this I spent, you can see I spent so much time, and a lot of it was like fighting with Udon and learning how to do more Udon stuff with toggles and everything. So you can actually, so we got basic settings like colliders. This should be on. Did I not turn them on? Apparently, I fucked up something with the colliders here. The bed collider is not on for some reason, so I need to fix that. Let's see, table colliders. Nope, table collider is off. Okay. I already found one problem here. Okay, colliders. We have chairs. So if you want to sit at the computer, you may do so. These are the Lura switch chairs, and I think I need to get some other ones or adjust these, because one issue I noticed with some VRChat stations is they sometimes like put you up just slightly. I can usually adjust this, and I don't normally use VRChat stations in VRChat because I have GoGo Local on my avatar, so I can just like give myself a sitting position and not have to worry about like dealing with stations or anything like that, because sometimes they're a little funky. So I can usually just kind of like, let me see here. I can use GoGo to adjust myself like this. GoGo is really useful. Whoa. I recommend it for putting on avatars and adjusting your butt. You can also use OVR advanced settings to adjust your height as well. It's very useful. Oh, this is really like, this is kind of far away from the laptop. I might want to like, this is way far away. I might want to like scooch this chair a bit closer. I think the reason I kind of spaced away though is because I think it's because I had a collider on the chair and then a collider near the table, and there is a weird glitch that happens in VRChat where if you get stuck between 2 colliders, it'll like shoot you forward through, it'll cause you to clip through. I guess it's like a one thing you can exploit though if you're trying to clip through colliders or stuff in worlds, but yeah, if you like you get pinballed between 2 colliders and it just goes shoo, and so it's like shooting me out the window. So I'll have to like fix that later and adjust it, but I plan to update this world anyways in the future. So you can also sit on the bed and grab the bag. Bag is grabbable. I should have put dynamic bones on the bag, that way the handle actually wiggles or whatever, but I figured if someone wanted to like kind of pose with the bag, they could. I also have this like wearable prefab, I'll show you in a bit, where there's 2 different wearable prefabs. There's one where you actually attach, you may have seen it if you use VRChat, you may have seen some worlds that have it where you attach an item to a bone specifically, where it'll target a bone and then it'll just stick to the bone. And then there's the wearable hat prefab, which I've used for some items in here that I'll show. But that one's relatively simple. and it doesn't like cause items to get stuck on you. My only issue with like the bone attachment prefab is that it can be difficult to like actually get the items off your bones once you attach them, so I didn't want to do that for this. But I might change this one to a wearable prefab somehow, because with the wearable ones you just stick it on you and then you can pull it off very easily. But yeah, I have, you can sit on the bed. I have to fix the stations on here too, because they cause you to sit up a little bit, but there's like 4 seats here as well, if you'd like to sit down. And, if you're going to be sitting on the bed, I actually had something you can look at if you're going to be, like, looking forward here. I have a bed. Okay, yeah, this is something I gotta fix later. I'm gonna have to update that because the bed station is also broken. They do tend to be like that in VRChat. I added a video player here. You know, this is just something I'm a stickler about in a lot of VRChat worlds, is I like to have video players. No matter where I'm at, because, you know, if I'm hanging out with one person or a whole group, it's nice to have a video player somewhere to access. Now, you may notice that that thing's in the way, so I just made it to where you can toggle this off. So you can toggle off the filing cabinet. Okay, this is gonna have to go. That's something that I need. You can't pick it up, so I'm gonna have to make that. Yes, things that I have to fix. Very nice. So that's, I have to toggle everything else off. Okay, that's something I need to fix. Very cool. Anyways, yeah, there's, you can toggle the furniture off and, you know, move that out of the way if you just want to watch the video player here and plug stuff in. You can also toggle off the PC chair, I don't know, just to get it out of the way, I guess. Let's turn the classic items back on. So I have like 2 item categories. I have items classic, so those are mostly items that you would see normally in the dorm room. And then I have items extra. So some items are wearable. So there's a few things that it toggles. It toggles on the plushies, so these are the ones I've shown before. You can grab them. They are like photo scan created plushies of the Stubbins ones that they've done for the Nahobino and Algami. Yeah, and you can grab the pillow, by the way. I gotta add some more pillows to this bed. One pillow is just very sad. I don't know how he lives like this, honestly. The VR headset, this thing is actually the thing that the scientists wear in order to be able to see the demons. This is wearable. I haven't figured out what I want. I wanted to put something interesting here in the view, because some VR chat worlds with VR headsets, they actually, like, if you have a VR headset item, they'll put, like, something interesting there. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet, so that's unchanged. But this is the one from the SMTVV files. It's funny because it looks like a weird, like, Oculus headset. It's even got, like, it's either like a Rift or an Oculus or something. Looks very Oculus-like, though. So you can wear this one. Let's see if I can put it on. Adjust it to my head here. The best I can. It's still a little big. I probably need to scale this one down, but yeah, you can just put this on and wear it if you want to. I have glasses. I actually don't know why he doesn't wear glasses when he's running. That dude, he's gotta have some eye damage, right? How does he not have glasses? Like, anyone who reads in the fucking dark like he does, and reads as many books, he would be guaranteed to have, he would guaranteed to have eye damage, so I'm actually really surprised he doesn't have reading glasses. Considering, I mean, I noticed too, that's one thing I'll mention, talking about eye damage, is that, whoa, this doesn't really want to stay on my face, but I wanted to mention his room does not have a light in it. And now, not all rooms, like an apartment doesn't, or a dorm room or something, it doesn't have to have a light built into it, an overhead light. I guess if you're going cheap, it's probably not going to have any like overhead lights or anything wired. He does not have a light in the room. Even when you see the footage of him, there's an interaction you could do with the bed, I guess, where you can, like, go to sleep or progress the next day, and it shows him, even at nighttime, no lights in his room on, just his computer on, and just the light from the window. He's reading in the dark somehow, and, like, So I guess he doesn't have any lights in the room, so I didn't put any lights. However, there are world lights, and you're actually able to turn those off and make it dark, so I'll show you that after I get through the items, because it actually makes the room look way cooler. I tend to be... I'm not used to making, like, daytime scene maps at all. I prefer nighttime, but that's because you can do a lot of cool stuff in a dark scene with, like, various lights and things like that. So, during the day, it looks pretty drab, but during the night, it can actually look way better. So you can easily take the glasses off. See how easy that is? Way easier than the attachment system. I have some masks here too. There's like 2 different ones. So you can wear these as well. I even have one that's themed off of the new Anahu Bino forum. I hope they actually make these, like make merch of this, because it would be good for a face mask. Let's see if I can actually do that. Gonna fit it there. It's slightly off, but yeah, you can wear it. Looks good. And then there's the basic one. Actually, some of this model here is from the SMT5 file. Some of the NPCs wear face masks, so you do that. There you go. So not much for extra items. I will definitely put more, but that's it for that. I also have the NPCs that you can toggle. This is something I did in my other world too, the Velvet Chill Room. I like the idea of actually having, you know, they are animated, so I'll pop him into here. It would just be, it's a lot of complication, especially with Udon now, to try and do animated NPCs and have them interact and everything like that. So that's not something I actually figured it out yet, but he's sitting on the bed like he does when he's reading at nighttime. And then you can also have Ogami here, awkwardly sitting on the bed next to Bino. And this is also something you can do. I have NPC pickup, because I like being able to move the characters around how I want. So if you toggle that on, you can move him and put him wherever you want. Like you can put him in the computer chair and he can read, even though he's from the computer. This boy loves reading. So you can do that. I like to be able to position the models. It's just fun to do so. And then you can take Aogami and put him, like, we're gonna put him in the corner of the room. Can I make him? We can just put him, like, in the corner of the room. He's like, I don't know if I should I don't know if I should get near him and sit on the bed. That's kind of weird. Might be a little too gay. So yeah, you can pick them up and then turn off pickup. And then when you turn off the pickup, they're positioned where you want them to be. So you can, like, turn it off, and now you can't actually grab them. Let me turn off the chairs too. Okay, so that's for the basic stuff. I have sounds, so I have a few tracks here. I didn't figure out how to, like, swap the music because it's Udon. So if you want to switch to a different track, just turn, you know, the one you're playing off, and there's a volume slider. Also, there's ambience. I don't know if you noticed. There's some, like, walking around. Here, let me turn this off. I'm going to turn the ambience all the way up. So I have ambience. So I have, like, some city. It's barely, you can barely hear it, but there's some city ambience. And if you're near the window, and then sometimes you occasionally hear, like, creaking doors and walking out there, because this is supposed to be a dorm room. I'm gonna turn these down. And then get different tracks. Nightbreak's really good. These are really good tracks for, like, a dorm room. There's some of the good, like, just chill tracks that SMT5 has. Daily Life, Nightbreak. There's a Joe in High School. Okay. And then Fairy Forest is just a favorite of mine. I'm gonna turn this down. Also have a audio toggle for rain. So I have a bunch of environment settings here. This is where you can actually make the room look way better. So, I added toggles for a ton of stuff. So you can toggle off the God Ray. There is, a lot of these are like things I got off a booth and stuff. They're really cool prefabs, so especially the God Ray. So there's light kind of coming in that adds like a neat effect here, but you can also toggle that off. And then, I'm probably going to jump around here. You can toggle up the cityscape. But when you do that, I have a note about this too. You can change the skybox by hitting the pet cactus over here. So I only have like a few. Can't really see them too well with the lights on. So you turn off the lights here. This room looks way better at nighttime. This is why I like nighttime environments in VRChat. So actually, let me turn on God Ray. Yeah, that looks really nice. And then, let's see, what do we want to do? Let me turn on Cityscape. So yeah, you can now have like a nighttime version of the room. And if it's a little too dark, you can turn on the terminal light as like a night light. You can also make it even darker by turning out the brightness. I was trying to figure out sliders for post-processing on this specific UI, but because I already had, I reused a project. I tend to do this with my maps, but I tend to reuse projects just because I have certain like lighting settings and post-processing already set up. But I put this one in a project that had it tied to another UI, and so it was just like, if I tried to get rid of that other UI, it would like mess up the way I did the post-processing, and it was just, I don't know, I have things set up a specific way. I'll fix that in the future eventually, but so I just have toggles for all the stuff for right now. So you can make the room look pretty dark. Let me turn off the God Ray here. And you can also make it look even cooler. And this is something I like doing in my worlds too, because I'm a big fan of rain. Rain is very calming. So you can add... Let me turn off the music here. Or actually, let me see. Do Tokyo. Let me turn this down, and then we can turn up the rain. So you can also add rain to the windows, and there is sound of the rain, which is nice. So you can do rain. You can also do caustics. I like maps that have the caustics effect. It's really cool. Adds to like an even more like chill vibe to rooms and stuff. Caustics. You can also turn off the fog. All the fog does. The reason why I put and it's like a fake volumetric like fog that's through silent shaders. Can't really see it too well here. Let me turn the lights back on. So we do this. It actually makes the room look way clearer, but the reason I do fog in maps is it sort of adds this color filter. It's hard to describe. It adds sort of like a slight fogginess and a color filter alongside the post-processing over the map, so sometimes I like using it, and also the fog can be nice for to obscure and add stuff to the like background environment as well, especially if you like need to sort of fill out the background distance or the bottom of the map that isn't like, you know, doesn't need to be visible. So we'll turn off fog. Let me turn off the lights. Okay, you can turn off the color. There isn't much, the color just makes it slightly look like desaturated. And then you can also turn off the bloom. So if you look at Ogami, makes it less bloomy. I like bloom though. Also, there is a seascape, but the only thing is if you have the rain on, it won't show the water shader that I used for the seascape. So I don't know why. Maybe whatever is being used to create the rain shader just obscures the water for some reason, but it adds some light. So I'm gonna disable the rain and then disable the cityscape so you can actually see the sea. There you go. So there's water. If you just want to have water. This adds like a slight, ambience. To water ambience. Let me turn that off. So yeah, if you have the seascape enabled, it adds some, like, water. I like ambience in maps. It really adds to the, immersion, the immersiveness of it. It's a shame I can't get the rain to show at the same time as the seascape. That would be nice. Alright, for now, that's pretty much it for the dorm room. It's a very small, simple, little place. I'll add more in the future, especially, like, this area here bothers me so much, and I know this room's way more spacious than the original, but it's like, there's so much space in here, it bothers me so much. I think even in, like, the actual dorm room that the protagonist uses, it's just like, it's so barren, it bothers me so much, and I know they probably didn't bother to put, like, a lot of personal stuff in it, because it's just like, actually, I don't know why they didn't. I guess you occasionally go to it, to access, like, the terminal, which I guess the terminal allows you to get, access to the virtual training stuff, virtual boss battles, and, you can sit on the bed and go to sleep and read your book. That's just about it. I'm actually surprised they didn't add more, though. Like, for some reason, he's not, like, it's not like a Persona protagonist where, okay, well, in Persona, at least, the room that you start out in, at least from what I remember, like, 4 and 5, is, like, especially 5's, where 5 is, like, a shithole that is like an attic that you clean up, and then, as you go through the game, you can, collect stuff. You get, like, little things that you can decorate the room with. And, that was the case with, Persona 4 as well. I like the stuff that you get. It's very cool. You can, like, have more stuff, but, like, for some reason, the SMT5 protagonist was like, no, SMT5 protagonist is not allowed to have, like, cool personal items or something. Or, like, just doesn't have much of a personality. Or maybe he just chooses to live simply. Maybe there's a reason for that, and maybe he's also extremely poor. Like, maybe the only thing this dude is able to afford is, like, books. Although he has a laptop, so I don't know, maybe he just prefers to, like, you know, browse the internets and read books, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the world if you decide to stop by and explore it. It's currently in community labs at the moment. I'll add more stuff to it later. It's kind of like simple right now. It's got a bunch of toggles, but when I can figure out what else to add to this little world, I'll do so in the future. But hope you guys enjoyed.